The MMDA is set to install exclusive motorcycle lanes on some roads in Metro Manila starting November. Gerard de la Peña with a report.
Motorcycle riders can sometimes be the headache of other motorists on the road. Riders counterflow or do sudden lane changing that often lead to accidents. Their sheer number could easily make them the new kings of the road. Data from the Transportation Department showed that of the 2.9 million registered vehicles in Metro Manila, about half or 1.44 million are motorcycles. But data from the MMDA showed that about 27,000 motorcycles encountered accidents last year. Of that number, almost 300 died, while over 14,000 were injured. That's why the MMDA thought of bringing back the exclusive lane for motorcycles to reduce accidents and ease traffic flow. This will be first implemented along Commonwealth Avenue.
I want to start with Commonwealth kasi mas malaki po siya. And it's easier for us to do that first. Sa EDSA, it's very challenging. Pero pinag-aaralan din po yan kasi syempre you have to consider yung mga U-turn slots, there's a bike lane, so mas mahirap po yung EDSA.
The MMDA previously created motorcycle lanes back in 2012 under former MMDA chairman and now Senator Francis Tolentino. This was put to a halt when the Duterte administration came and was brought back in 2017. But the implementation was once again stopped when the pandemic hit. The MMDA is planning to put up a new exclusive motorcycle lane in November in time for the full face-to-face classes. Previously, it was situated at the inner lane, but this time, the MMDA is looking at the third lane from the right, or next to the bike lane and the PUV lane. Motorists that we have spoken to are in favor of the plan.
Mas okay din kasi minsan nasasagi rin kami. Nakakatakot lalo yung mga truck na dumadaan dito.
Dapat lang talaga maglagay sila ng motorcycle lane para hindi na yung kaming mga four-wheel naiilang. Kasi naiilang kami minsan eh. Minsan nandito sa kanan kakating ka.
The MMDA is currently conducting consultations with various stakeholders to fine-tune details of implementation. For News 5, Gerard de la Peña, we are One News.
Here to give us their insights on the revival of exclusive motorcycle lanes, we have with us live via Zoom Jobert Bolaños, Chairman of the Motorcycle Rights Organization. Good evening. Welcome to the big story, Mr. Bolaños.
Good evening to all the watchers.
So, Mr. Bolaños, exclusive motorcycle lanes being brought back. Is this necessarily 100% welcome, or are there things also to watch out for as this gets implemented?
Well, it has never been exclusive from the very beginning. Motorcycles are not allowed to go out of the lane, while other vehicles are allowed. So the penalties only apply to motorcycle riders. I'm not sure if they're going to change that this time around, if the exclusivity will apply. But in previous sessions that we have had in the years, DPWH was one to say that the infrastructure does not support exclusivity for any type of vehicle. And in fact, our position here has always been strictly implement existing rules and regulations like the speed limit, rules on changing of lanes. Once we do that, we don't just control one sector like the motorcycle sector, we also control the rest of the vehicles because it's not always the motorcycle's fault when accidents happen. Most of it can be attributed to other vehicles cutting lanes, changing lanes, abruptly stopping, road conditions, road debris. So there are many reasons. We can discipline one sector, but if you don't discipline the rest, the problem will still persist.
Okay, so let me see if we get that right. It's not about having dedicated exclusive lanes for any particular group. Your point is let's just have very clear rules that are implemented consistently and effectively, and this should be able to work. But to that point, what do we need other than that reminder and that call for our enforcers to do everything consistently and effectively?
Well, number one, they have to first synergize with the rest of the agencies involved, like LTO, the local traffic of the area where they're doing it, like Quezon City, and the laws should also be consistent. because MMDA does not have the authority or the power to create new laws. That's up to the Council of the LGU or Congress. And to create laws like this, where they penalize one sector, there has to be supporting law on that, like an ordinance or a congressional law. But yes, the message is, while we want to discipline our streets and make traffic flow better, we cannot solve it by just focusing on one sector like the motorcycle sector. We have to focus on everyone. We have to discipline everyone. And the only way we can do that is to strictly enforce the existing laws.
Okay, sir, nakikita po natin na sa images online, there are photos of other countries with their roads, exclusive lanes for motorcycles. Same conversation is being had with bicycle lanes. Para lang po maintindihan natin, kasi some of our streets have three or four lanes. Some are just 2 lanes. What
Yes.
would be the optimal scenario for bikers, for motorcycles, for cars to coexist? Given the state of our roads, what are some of the realities that we should be taking a look at? Because it's not a one-all, be-all solution, as we can see.
That is absolutely correct. The number one problem we have is urban planning has not really worked for us. We still suffer from bottlenecks in spite the road widenings that have been happening all over Metro Manila. So what's happening is the road, the structure, the whole infrastructure is not planned. Has not been planned well. And that is causing a lot of the problems. Now, in as far as road discipline is concerned, adding new laws only create more issues in terms of segregation, discrimination, because they're focusing on just one sector. If we focus on one sector and leave out the rest, discipline will still be a problem, because it's not just one sector that has problems on discipline. It's everybody. Accidents are caused by almost everyone on the road, caused by various factors such as road conditions and such. But because our urban planning, our streets design, and the infrastructure as a whole has not been planned properly, there will always be problems out there. So the simplest way to fix this is to focus on the discipline of everybody by using proper enforcement, first by training our enforcement to do things right, producing educational videos for everyone to see, not just for motorcycles, but for PUV, especially for the private vehicle drivers, and show it online, on mainstream media. So we have to focus on enforcement and educating everybody, not just one sector. Because if we focus on one sector, we'll be leaving out the rest.
Okay, maraming salamat po, Mr. Bolaños. Jobert Bolaños is chairman of the Motorcycle Rights Organization.